Hey guys, this is like a fun video that I'm making for Team Purple Pandas. This is Lee, and I got a lot of questions, emails. People come up to ask me. They go, Lee, how come your Infernity deck is still badass? How come it's kicking my ass? How come you're so good looking? But either way, I'm here to make a video about all that and try to explain some play styles and some thought processes and just overall goodies for everybody. So Infernity, right? My favorite deck right now is, I ran this thing ever since it first came out. I just love this guy. Alright, let's go. So Infernity's a lot like black. Hey, thanks, babe. I just got tea. Check this out, guys. Just got tea. That's good tea. Okay, Infernities. They're a lot like Blackwings back in the day. Everyone just kind of played them, and like a week later they stopped because they think the deck is bad, but they misplayed. They misplayed so hard. Same thing's Infernities, but I believe that a good Infernity player does some things very different than like an amateur player. So let's go through some cards that I personally use that works for me. First is the Dust Tornado. This says a lot about my playstyle. I'm very conservative when I play Infernity. Actually, almost everything. I don't like to set a lot. In this format, people set everything, and then they lose. Why I love this card, because if I go first, I can simply set this, and I end turn. They summon a small monster. They poke me with it. They end turn. I dust something, and then I set an Inferno. Why that's such a good play and why I love that play so much is because a lot of times when people set Infernos, you get hit by MST. Once you get hit by MST, they are forced to use it. So sometimes they have like a Mirror Force and say like an Avenger in their hand. They're forced to dump that Mirror Force in the graveyard to set up their whole play. What this allows me to do is that it allows me to draw a card to see what card it is and make a decision to, do I want to trigger to dump right now or not? And when I watch a lot of the replays and a lot of the the feature plays of Infernity matches, they're pretty good, pretty like pro status. That's what they do too. So something that I learned. Moving on. So we have like Dust Tornado right here. We got one Ghost Arc. Why? It's a slower format, so you can search up for a key card. So what's a key card in this deck? Giant Grenade. It allows me to simplify the back row, so I can then push. When Infernities push, when we make a big play, we are extremely vulnerable. I mean, like you set everything and you go Mirage. Essentially, you're setting everything and you're summoning a 0 attack monster. That's really, really, really risky. So this allows me to clean up the back row, so I can do much better in my next play. So important. Moving on. My favorite card in this deck, at least one of my favorite card, Trap Dust Shoot. I love this card so much I actually spend money to hollow this thing out. Why is it so good? Because back in the day, okay, my computer's falling apart, so give me a second. Okay, back in the day, it's my Do You Have Gores card, and I play this thing to check if they have Gores or not, so I can attack for a game. If they have Gores, go back in the deck, attack for a game. Right now, it's even more important because right now we can check do you have DD Crow card? Do you have Effect Veiler card? Saying how vulnerable Infernities are when you push. This card is so important right now to run, to make sure that they don't have anything up your sleeve when you're making that big run. So I love this thing so much. I don't see a reason why you should not run it. Run it. Moving on. Dump cards. I have 2 Grapher, 1 Armageddon Knight, and a Rhoda, and obviously I have 3 Inferno. So 7 cards. Why is that important to me? Because this deck have 50 monsters. So essentially you're very inconsistent. These 7 cards makes the whole entire deck consistent. It ties everything together. Because these 7 cards are essentially searchers for the graveyard. So that's why it's so important. I run 3 because right now they have a Stygian, so I want to be able to get it in there as soon as possible. At the same time, be able to get everything else in there. So that's how I like it. Along with this, I run a Dark Arm Dragon. Controversial because people are like, well, what happens if we draw late game? It's stuck in your hand. You can't do anything. Again, you have a lot of dump cards. You have a plague. You can top deck this thing. You can inferno it. A lot of options here. Not to mention, you can simply go early game. If you get this thing, you can go Greffer, dump dark, wait for Greffer to die, and you have 3 set up already. A lot of Infernity players that are not very good, what they'll do is they'll set everything, and they'll dump as fast as they can. And they'll like try to win through luck sacking. Under that kind of playstyle, Dark Ground Dragon is a very bad idea. But if you see conservative play and dumping purpose, I think this is a very good card to soak up all those solemn warnings, solemn judgment, bottom's trapple, so on and so forth. So I like it a lot. And people who play me, they know Dark Ground comes up to say hi a lot. Alright, moving on. Book of Moon, because Book of Moon is awesome. Dark Bribe. 1 Dark Bribe. Why Dark Bribe? Because Dark Bribe is wonderful. People run Solemn Warning right now. I don't like Solemn Warning. Yeah, I said it. I don't like Solemn Warning. Because Infernities, that's not much monsters that you can summon that I'm afraid of. Yeah, Thunder King. Yeah, Consecrated Light. Maybe Doom Cow. But that's it. That's 3 monsters. That's it. And I'm paying 2,000 life to stop you too. So I don't really see a reason why I need to stop your monster summoning. On top of that, if I want to stop it, I have a Book of Moon, I have 2 Banlist, I have Trench, I have Mirror Force, I have a Dark Hole to get rid of it. I don't need to pay 2,000. But what I am afraid of is I'm afraid that when I play my gun, you MST me, or you dust me, or when I have my Necromancer, my Archfiend, and my Tuner on the field, that you book my Tuner. Then the music stops and I'm screwed. This stops all of it. So I recommend everyone run this. I feel like that when I get this card, I set it. Next turn I can make a big play without getting screwed over. So important, fast, important. And oh yeah, by the way, this stops the Solemn Warning. Alright. Next thing. 2 barriers, 1 brick. Why? Because I don't like big barriers. People like, oh well, if you drew the barriers, you can do some early control play. Well, you remember, barriers require you to have a face-up attack mode Infernity monster. In other words, you need to have a face mode attack mode, say Archfiend, 18 beater, okay? To have a face-up attack mode Archfiend, that means you risk it to bottomless trap hole. That's the first risk that you are taking in order to get this card to work. Second risk is that you have no cards in your hand. That means you have to set everything. So you're taking additional risk just so you can use 1 or 2 barrier. Actually, that time you just draw 1 barrier. So you want to use 1 barrier and you're risking everything else just to use 1 card. I think that's stupid. I don't want to draw barriers. I really don't. So I'm running 2 so I can search them out when I'm doing my little loop thing. Other than that, I don't see why I didn't run through to clutter my hand up. Either way, I'm running out of time. I'm like 8 minutes now. So I'm going to end this video right here. If any questions, go ahead and ask me. Leave comments below, email me, all that good stuff. Like you guys been doing. So yeah. Oh yeah. Quick word about what I think a good Infernity player is and what I think is bad Infernity playing. And I think it's very simple. Good Infernity player knows 2 things. 1, when to dump the monsters, and 2, when to push. Bad Infernity players, they dump immediately, they push whenever the first sign possible, and finally they set everything for no reason. So that is the defining line. 1, good players, they know when they're pushing, they know when to set, etc. Bad players, they just do everything whenever it comes to them, and they win by luck sacking. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.